Have Scott and Beckah. I didn't know Beckah was coming, but Beckah, it's good to have you with us here at Bob FM. How are we, guys?
We're doing good. Thanks again for having us.
Thank you.
Always good to visit with you. Scott, welcome back. 13 years of the Gearhead Get-Together. Is that hard to believe?
It is really hard to believe. We were just talking and reminiscing about how we've been getting together in one way or another for 21 years, but we just can't believe what this event has become, and that it's already our 13th year, and that means I'm 13 years older than when I started it.
Because you've been here for all of them.
I have, yes.
All right. So, Beckah, tell us what your involvement is with the Gearhead Get-Together.
I help promote. I do the social media, and you'll see me walking around that day with a little cart taking donations and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, she's one of our Gearhead gals, walking around in vintage clothing with her sash that says Gearhead Gal on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're going to have a Gearhead event, you need a Gearhead gal or a group of them.
Yes, we do.
I mean, it's just, yeah, good. Well, I'm glad to hear you're not alone. But, Scott, for those who may be new to the Gearhead Get-Together, first of all, we love the name. And this is not your normal car show by any means.
No, and the name really hits the nail on the head, and we didn't really realize that when we created it, but it does, because it is everything Gearhead related. And, people will say, hey, you're probably the largest one-day car show in the state of Minnesota now. It's like, no, we're not. We're not a car show. We're everything, and that's what we really are pushing for still. Bring your weird out. Bring your unusual. If it's mechanical, bring it out, because everybody there loves to see that stuff.
Yeah, anything with a gear, anything with a motor is welcome. It's a show. It's a swap meet. But we're not talking about trophies and plaques and prizes. This is just a gathering of gearheads and friends.
Yep, and that's where the name, again, hits the nail on the head. It's just a get-together. And, it's so fun because every year I hear, like, oh, my God, I haven't seen Joe in 15 years. And I run into him here, and I hear that year after year after year, people reunite. And it's just a really good vibe and a good feeling.
And it takes over most of the town of Maple Lake.
Yes, it's that popular, and we were just discussing parking and how it's, getting worse, and we just keep telling people, like, well, if you want to get closer, just drive something old or weird.
Right. Yeah, drive in and park in your spot where you're going to be for the show. Because, Beckah, I'm on the website, and you look and you see the pictures of what it looks like. There's a lot of people and a lot of cars and things with motors.
It really does take over all of downtown, and one of the most common questions we get through our website and social media is, where can we park? So we do have a shuttle again from the high school. If you have a vehicle you're showing, then come in. You can check out our map, and our volunteers will direct you where to go once you get there.
All right. It is this Saturday, by the way. Give us the hours, and then let's talk about some of the entertainment as well.
Yeah, so officially we say the event starts at 8 and ends at 6, but, we get people rolling in at 5:30. It's crazy, because they want to get a good spot, and they're planning on being there for the day. So yeah, that's the official hours of the event is we have music until 5.
And let's talk about the bands you have in this year. Music starts like right away at 10:30 in the morning.
Yes, it does. And I'm looking at our poster now and realizing we have a typo on there, because our first band on the big stage is the Star Chiefs, and our poster says 11:30, but it is indeed 10:30 they start, and they'll play till 1:30. And then right after that, we have the Everett Smithson Band, which is really a local favorite, and they're from 2 to 5. Yeah, they're just great music.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And you've got the Wall of Death this year.
Yes, returning. It's been we took a year off just because we're always trying to keep it interesting and new and exciting, but we've formed a really good friendship with the folks at the American Motordrome Wall of Death, and they are probably arriving today. And we will be setting up the wall starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So if you would like to check that off your resume or bucket list, you can show up and help us. I think we have the football team is going to be there to help us, but we're always willing to take.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a bit of a chore. And And isn't the dyno back this year?
Yep, hoping that that'll be a every year thing, because it brings these people that are into their torque and their horsepower, and it's an opportunity for them to see how their car is doing. So, yep, it's a mobile dyno. It'll be set up across from the fire department again, and that is the Powerhouse Dyno. And you just register directly with him, and he'll get you set up and scheduled.
All right, and Beckah, you have some food trucks or food options on location, as well as some beverage, I would bet.
Yep, food and beverages all throughout, and we have several establishments in Maple Lake that also have food, beverages, and ATMs there. So, and we have one ATM by the registration booth this year too.
All right, so you get your hands on some cash. And you know what else, Scott, and I think you and I have talked about this every year, but the amount of community support and sponsorship is really unmatched.
I look at this poster, and a third of it is just sponsors, and that's not even everybody. It's a Maple Lake event, of course, to the core, but it's really a Wright County event. I mean, our sponsorship expands throughout the whole county, and probably even more if I were to really think about it. But we could not do it, absolutely, without our sponsors. So please check them out on our website when you see a poster. And if you ever are at any of those businesses, just take a second and thank them for sponsoring our event, because, I mean, tents cost money, tables, porta potties, bands, stage, you name it. It's a huge undertaking, and we couldn't do it without our volunteers or our sponsorship.
Yeah, and you get great support on both. And I gotta just say to everybody in Maple Lake, this town of Maple Lake does not sit around and do nothing, man. You guys, it's impressive, with the makers and growers thing now that has come out, and this event. I mean, what you do on different holidays and different things. Maple Lake is quite a community. What a bunch of good people out there. Folks, if you've never been to Maple Lake or this event, it is absolutely worth checking out and going and meet. You're going to meet and make some new friends. I promise you that. It's really a great little town for sure. You guys should be proud, Scott.
Thank you for saying that. You just gave me a few goosebumps, because it really is a community. And some of the events you've mentioned are chamber events, and it's about supporting our community and our businesses. And I know my antique shop in the old creamery during those events, it does great. Yeah. And so it's the community is awesome. I wouldn't trade Maple Lake for anything.
Yeah, and that's it, Yeah, and Beckah, you know this too. Everybody that all your volunteers and all these other people, hey, they have real jobs, real businesses. And, it's friends and neighbors working and helping friends and neighbors and keeping the community financially strong and going. Yeah, it's wonderful. Good job, you guys. We wish you the best. Looks like weather's going to be great. Our buddy DK is going to be out. He loves this event.
Yes.
He'll be there for a live broadcast. We'll get things rolling with him right away at 9 in the morning. Give you a chance to set the scene and tell you everything that's going on. And we're honored to be a part of your promotional vehicle, Beckah and Scott, for this event. So thanks for working with us again this year.
Thank you, guys. Really great to see you again, and thank you for your support.
You bet. All right, it's this. Yeah, you bet. Thank you, Beckah. Thank you, Scott. I should have probably had you here to my kitchen. Would have cut your drive time in half.
Yeah.
Next year we'll just do it here. And, Maple Lake to Albertville's quicker than all the way to Ramsey. But
it is. You can supply some breakfast and coffee for us, and we'll just do that.
I think it's going to be done.
All right, I got it on the calendar.
And there you go. It's Gearhead Get-Together, 13th Annual, downtown Maple Lake. It all starts at 8 a.m. or earlier this Saturday. Come on out for the fun. Jim?
Plus, his selection of cold cereal is unmatched.
Ooh, boy.
So keep that in mind. Bob FM.
Listen to Total